Hi folks, let's Super Turtle on Terminal Moraine. Yes, the riskiest map to Super Turtle on. Well, maybe not the riskiest map, but the riskiest Super Turtle map to Super Turtle on. Okay, that's entirely based on opinion, but whatever. It is a risky map to Super Turtle on because basically what we're trying to do here is just defend ourselves on our little island bases here, opposite of each other, as Pro-Mitch is my teammate as the green cutter, and I'm a purple arbiter, and we're playing against two other arbiters, so this will be easy enough for us to turtle against. They aren't very high ranked. But, of course, even low-ranked players will eventually realize that most of our forces, well, all of our forces are going to be located here on these island bases, and they're eventually going to move out and take every base on the map, and me and Mitch are going to be tucked in here on our little island bases here, and that's basically what the purpose of this Super Turtle is. But you, of course, want to keep your mainland bases for as long as possible, so that you can get massive amounts of money. You really don't want to lose your mainland bases until you have like 15,000 resources, so you definitely want to hold on to them for a while. And don't plan on doing this turtle against anyone good or anyone using legit leader combos, because it probably won't end up very well for you. I mean, me and Mitch have lost so many Super Turtles doing this. It's almost every time we get this map, Mitch will say, Super Turtle, and I'll be like, no! No Super Turtle, no te gusta Terminal Moraine. I think that's the Spanish. Whatever. I can't speak more than one language, so why do I even try? So I did record what I did at the beginning of this game, but I cut most of it out because it's really no different than what I typically do in any other Super Turtle where I'm playing as the Covenant. I send my leader after the rebel bases and take down all of the turrets and all of the rebel infantry before taking out the core of the base. And I've been talking to a lot of people who seem to still think that you get more veterancy the less upgraded your leader is, and that's not true. It just isn't. I don't know why they think it is, but it's not. It just seems like sometimes your leader gets veterancy quicker, and sometimes he gets it slower. I don't know. I don't question this game's logic anymore. It's just, this game just does what it wants, when it wants. So I dare not question it. But anyways, S-Pro-Mitch used some Spartans to clear out, actually, most of the bases on the map, so I really didn't get to kill very many rebels with my Arbiter, unfortunately, so I do only have one little Sheriff star there. So I'm going to have to spend a lot of this game raging down stray units in front of our enemy's bases to try and get whatever more stars I can. And of course that's something that the Arbiter can do that the Brute Chieftain can't. He can still get veterancy from raging down units, and the Chieftain receives 0 veterancy from vortexing, so you know, that's something to keep in mind if you want to consider using the Arbiter for Super Turtling. He is pretty useful now that that patch has made him an unstoppable beast of destruction, which he always has been, but now even more so. And I get ghastly vision, so now I am perfectly safe to go looking around for units. What, Mitch? Oh, he's talking to his mommy. How is your mommy, Mitch? Let me know. But here I am, raging down some hunters, and they are on the old patch where assault beams tracking is very slow. It looks like those hunters are shooting their own units there. And yeah. So as long as I keep moving, I will never get hit by this assault beam, and they can shoot at me as much as they want, but it will never hit me. Teal's Arbiter's here trying to rage me down, but he's probably just dealing more damage to himself, and of course there's the big beetle right there, the Scarab. That thing kinda worried me and I thought about leaving, but nah. I'll have no trouble killing the rest of these hunters and then raging down that Scarab. As long as I stay in its blind spots, of course. I'm going to want to get behind it before I start raging it some more. But I keep getting stuck on that blessed warehouse somehow. Like, it's not even on my camera or on my screen, and yet still my Arbiter will sometimes fly into it. And I guess I got scared and recalled. I totally could have killed that Scarab, but I chose not to. Oh, there's Banshees here, duh. I recalled to go kill the Banshees. And then I will be back for that Scarab. These banshees could fly off into the mountain and try to cliff me, but of course we're not playing against anyone who knows about that, so I'm just gonna have to surf on these banshees. If you don't know how to rage surf, it's extremely easy. Just hit the right stick and don't hit the left stick at all around air units, and you'll be able to stick to them like this. And if you use both of the sticks at the same time, you can really do heavy amounts of damage to air units like banshees and unupgraded hornets. Whereas just wiggling your sticks around like a madman, you'll end up doing like no damage to them. So that's something to keep in mind for any would-be up-and-coming arbiters out there. But anyways, as you can see, I've got a pretty nice jackal wall there, ready to take out any arbiters. It's not closed off right now, but there aren't any ghastly arbiters out there yet, so I don't have to worry about that. And here's what S-Pro Mitch has going on down here. Take a look there. Maybe I'll look at his base eventually. But it's not really important. You just want to know what units he's got there, right? So here's a little bit of a boring spot. I'm going to go ahead and skip forward. Alright, so 20 years later, here I am doing some more raging. I've gotten a ton of upgrades, and I do have a nice supply of money. I have a nice supply base down there as well. And I'm going to rage down that locust, and now I'm going to see what else I can try and rage down. There are 2 scarabs here and a fully upgraded arbiter, so that's dangerous stuff. I don't even want to try with that. So I'm going to go to these vampires and see if I can rage any of them down, but those scarab beams are still hitting me. So this is pretty much not going to be very effective, and I'm just going to want to get out of here before I die. I'm doing a decent job of staying out of the scarab's beam, but it's just not worth it. Not worth the damage that I'm doing now. I can just wait until things are safer, because I don't want to lose my arbiter, and right now that's what's happening. So let's get out of here, man. Too dicey. And I guess I pissed them off because now my base is under attack. I want to recall to my island base, of course, because that's where my engineers are. And yeah, there's just a few banshees here, nothing my turrets won't be able to handle. Wow, I didn't notice they had a 1-star arbiter too, but I guess they do. Professionals. And yeah, they're going to bombard my base with these banshees for a little bit until my vampires show up and kill them all. But that is upsetting this arbiter, and he is now in rage mode and raging my turret and raging my shield, and he's going to come up here and try to rage my vampires. Well, I might as well teach him about the cliff trick now, because he apparently doesn't know about it. How'd that cliff taste, bruh? Anyways. Yeah, if you didn't know about the cliff trick, I mean, it's been out there for a real long time, so if you don't know about that, you really should, and that is, if you have air units and you're fighting against a raging arbiter, simply put your air units above any cliff or mountain or piece of unpassable terrain, and if their arbiter rages on their unit and touches the ground there, he will either die or be teleported to the lower left corner of the map. And more often than not, he dies. So yeah, if you're getting annoyed with arbiters raging down all your air units, that's something you can do. And if you didn't know about that, well, now you do. Getting reinforcements, and then I'm going to get Forerunner Shield for my Prophet. Or my Wraiths, or... Why am I getting 4? Yeah, I guess. I'll just get it because I can get it. Of course, it does make your base shields go up faster, but, you know... Who needs base shields when you have engineers? Jerks, that's who. Yeah. So I guess this is another boring part, but there's S-Pro Mitch making fun of me for having 2 summits up, calling me a double summit noob. Thanks, Mitch, I appreciate that. Speaking of jerks. Anyway. So my base is under attack by scarabs, a wraith, and a Mac Blast. But wait, that's S-Pro Mitch's Mac Blast. Thank God. So that took down one of the scarabs. And that's very funny that it just takes 600 resources to kill a 3,000 resource unit. And I'm not bothering to rage down that wraith, I guess, because I just want this scarab dead. But unfortunately now their arbiter is raging me, and while he is dealing damage to himself, you know, it does still hurt. So hopefully I will be able to kill this scarab and get the large health boost from him before I get raged down and scorched by that Wraith. And boom! Yes, that gives me very big health boost, and that is very helpful for what I am trying to accomplish here. Now, raging when there's another Arbiter raging you, it's very annoying because your Arbiter tends to want to rage that Arbiter, and not only does that keep you from healing your Arbiter, because of course hitting an Arbiter will deal damage to your Arbiter, because that's what Arbiters do, they deal damage to things that are hurting him. So it's just always annoying to get in a rage fight, but as long as I've got that star and that 10% boost on him, I'm going to come out on top. And there he does a nice clutch recall, but it's not going to help him. I'm going to rage down these Enjones, get some more health. It looks like he's trying to cliff me with engineers, man. That's unbelievable. But I'm not going to fall for it. I'm going to recall and heal and put some more shields on this base so I can hopefully amass a nice ass ton of money, because I don't have nearly enough. It's something I didn't really take into consideration when I was doing this turtle, how much money it costs to just rage around and rage everything like I've been doing. There were times where I just raged down like small individual groups of units, but you know, that's not important enough to really put into the Super Turtle video. Anyways, let's go ahead and skip ahead to something more interesting. I guess I can use this opportunity to show you guys what I like to do against people who don't put shields on their base while I'm Super Turtling them. Sure, I'm never gonna attack them with my army, but that doesn't mean I can't send my invisible leader over here and rage down all their buildings, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. As you can see, all of their hunters in that scarab are now moving away, so now is a perfect opportunity to get in there and rage down some blessed warehouses. And maybe his temple, and hell, maybe his entire base. Let's see what happens. I'm just gonna chip away at these buildings, and yeah. Look at my Arbiter go. You know, a Ghastly Arbiter actually does pretty good damage against Covey buildings, but then again, so does anything. Covey buildings are so weak. And me and Loda No Skills were recently having a conversation about how to make Covenant bases stronger, and you know, it would just be better if they were like UNSC bases, and you know, like the more buildings you have on your base, the stronger the core of your base is, but that would also pretty much change the entire game and how it's played, so I don't know. I like to brainstorm on ideas of how this game could be better, but there's about 800 billion ideas of how this game could be better. Almost got surrounded and killed there, but I managed to glitch out of there and escape. So, killed a ton of his buildings, and he is now going to want to build a shield, or else I'm going to be back there momentarily to rage down whatever buildings he has replaced those buildings with. There's Teal's Arbiter trying to rage down my Arbiter, which is always very annoying stuff. And then I see this red scarab with all these vampires by my main base, so that's very scary, and I'm going to recall to my engineers, heal up, and then eventually try to take that stuff down. I really don't want to go in there at half health, because that's just an easy way to get myself killed, and it's unnecessary since I do have 8,000 resources. All of my bases are pretty easily replaceable, but look at that guy, that professional with his scarab up on the mountain. That means that I can't rage it down. That stinks, man. That stinks a whole lot. And it can shoot at my base, so that's really shitty. I never knew about that, but we don't Super Turtle on this map very often, because as I said before, I just don't like to, unless, you know, it's against something like this, Double Arbiter noobs. But I'm going to rage down these vampires with ease. There's really no reason for them to be up here at all, except to add DPS to my shielded bases, I suppose. But really the bulk of his army is that scarab back there on that mountain. These things aren't really doing anything except getting raged down. And yeah, if I were to rage that scarab even once, my Arbiter would explode and die. So that really sucks, because that basically means that that base of mine is gone forever, because if I try to rebuild it, that scarab's still going to be there, and trust me, he doesn't move it. It stays there for the rest of the game. I'm going to sell, even though it doesn't matter that much because I have a ton of money. And I wasn't really paying attention, but I tried to sell as much as I could. Pulled a llama hunter and didn't even sell my temple. Unless it wasn't even there. I'm pretty sure that was all supply pads and I've rebuilt my temple on my island base already, but whatever. I'm going back over to Teal's base because, as you can see, it is not only not upgraded, but it still has no shield. So I'm going to rage down the rest of his buildings just because I'm a big fat jerk like that, and yeah. Maybe if his other base didn't have a shield, or doesn't have a shield, or whatever. I'm really trying to rage down that last building, but Teal is attacking my last base up here. And I know there's no mountains here for a scarab to hide on, but there sure are a lot of hunters and 2 arbiters there that can rage down my arbiter and a scarab. So it's really not something that I want to take on with my arbiter, but hey, let's do it anyway. Let's recall in here and start mixing it up. Alright. There's a scarab shooting at me from both directions, so yeah. I'm just going to get out of there because I'm already almost dead. And I'm going to be losing these money bases, which is unfortunate because I really don't have the large ass ton of money I was hoping to acquire before losing these bases, but hey. That's what happens. Can't always get what you want, and it does look like I did rebuild my temple on this base, so okay. So now basically me and Mitch are being confined to these bases, which is going to help us a lot in their pushes, because now we will have an army to support my arbiter, and they're just going to build shields on those bases because they think it's the smart thing to do, which it is normally. If you're taking bases on your opponent's side, you want to put shields on them so that they can't easily retake them. But in this case, me and Mitch probably aren't going to go back for those bases ever again. I guess I accidentally built a Banshee, so I'm going to send this over here and maybe take out whatever expansion is coming up here, or retake my old money base. No, there's a base here, but my Banshee will eventually be able to take it out, hopefully. Most of their units are over here, so I'm guessing the next attack is going to come on our island bases. Will we be able to hold them off? Is Espro Mitch going to lose all of his units and have to save himself with ODSTs? Is my Arbiter going to survive to the end of the game and see his 3rd star? Or even his 2nd star, for that matter? Is my Banshee going to be able to kill this Teal base that I'm boosting towards? Find out next time on Let's Super Turtle on Terminal Moraine. See you guys then. Bye.